So what determines how much you qualify for? One of the main drivers in how much you qualify for is something called debt to income ratio. This is figured out by just a really simple formula, and it takes all your monthly debt payments, including a new house, divided by your monthly gross income. And what the debt to income ratio is trying to figure is how much of your budget is obligated toward your debt payments. And so conventional loans are typically maxed out at a 45% DTI, and different loan programs will have different requirements. So we'll go ahead and look at a real life example. We'll say we're working with this family. They have $5,000 a month gross income. So this is income before taxes. And something I want to point out is that the lender is the one who will really determine what your qualifying income is. Salary type of income is more straightforward, but if there's a bonus or tips or overtime, that number will need to be figured out by the lender. So $5,000 of qualifying income. We're going to assume this family has no other debt. The new house payment that they're looking at is $2,250, including the taxes and insurance. So to figure out the debt to income ratio, we're going to use our nifty little formula. And so we're going to take all their debt payments. So in this example, they have no other debt and the new house payment, $2,250, and we're going to divide it by their total monthly gross income, which is $5,000. So in this example, this family's debt to income ratio is 45%. And so if we were working with this family on the front end to see what they qualify for, and they were working on with a loan program that maxed them out at a 45% debt to income ratio, then we know that they can't have a mortgage payment more than $2,250. And so one thing I do want to bring up and clarify is that the amount you are qualified for is not always the same thing as the amount you should borrow. And so I'm going to continue bringing up the concepts of eligibility versus suitability. Eligibility is what loan amount can you qualify for, and suitability is what loan amount is most suitable for your personal financial needs. And so that's something that you will want to determine. A pro tip for you, most people do not know this, but you are pre-qualified for a monthly payment and not a loan amount. And a great example of when this was very easy to see was when in 2022 rates went up at a quick rate. There are people who, let's say, were qualified for a $300,000 house, and if rates went up overnight, they were no longer qualified for a $300,000 house. And it's because they were never really qualified for a loan amount. They were qualified for a monthly payment. And so in this next section, we are going to break down how mortgage rates work and how you can avoid one of the biggest traps in the mortgage industry, the discount point fee trap.